Hello everyone, welcome to S Mathematics. This is ring theory part 3. Here we are going to learn a special type of ring, namely integral domain. Now see, what do you mean by an integral domain? Now integral domain is also a ring with a commutative and unity element. That is any ring which satisfies commutative property and possesses unity element. Not only that, it should be without zero divisors. What do you mean by without zero divisors? Now in abstract algebra, suppose if AB is equal to 0, there is a possibility A is not equal to 0 and B is not equal to 0. Then we will say that the ring is with zero divisors. Now the ring is without zero divisors means AB is equal to 0 implies A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. That is either or. A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. The examples of this are ring integral domain Z5, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now Z6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why it is not an integral domain? Because two integral that is multiplication modulo 6, 3 is equal to 0. 2 into 3 is becoming 0, but 2 is not equal to 0, 3 is not equal to 0. I think 2 multiplication modulo 6, 3 means 2 into 3, 6 by 6. When 6 cancels in 6, the remainder is 0. That you have to write, but not the coefficient. You are writing the remainder. So this Z6 is not an integral domain. Now see here the properties of integral domain we are going to see. What are the properties? First one, in an integral domain cancellation loss holds. Now what do you mean by cancellation loss? For A comma B belongs to R, AB is equal to AC implies B is equal to C. Next, BA is equal to CA implies B is equal to C. These are the cancellation laws, left cancellation law and right cancellation. Integral domain, these laws will hold. How it is, see here. Suppose that R is an integral domain, then we have to prove cancellation laws holds in. R is an integral domain means R is a ring without zero divisors. In first video we have seen any ring without zero divisors will satisfy cancellation laws. So that from that you got it. So in an integral domain cancellation laws will hold. Okay, now see the next property, field definition. If you see, what is the difference between field and integral domain? Already in second video we have seen the definition. Now what is a field? Field is a commutative ring with unity and every non-zero element should possess its multiplicative inverse. What is an integral domain? Integral domain is also a commutative ring with unity, but it is without zero divisors. Okay. Now what you are going to see here, field definition you have seen. Q plus R plus C plus dot, these are all the fields. Q plus dot, R plus dot, C plus dot, ZP is a field. Now Z plus dot is not a field because every non-zero element is not possessing its inverse except 1 and minus 1. Okay, in the same way Z6 with respect to addition modulo 6, multiplication modulo 6 is not a field. Already here it is having with zero divisors. Now see here, every field is an integral domain but not the converse. In order to say this property, I have given the definition of field first. Now let F plus dot be a field. When it is a field, now you have to prove it is an integral domain. Because it is a field, according to the definition, integral domain means what you have to show, it is a commutative ring with unity and it is without zero divisors you have to prove. F is a commutative ring with unity because F is a field. So this there is nothing to prove, it is satisfies it satisfies automatically. F plus dot is a field, implies F is a commutative ring with unity. Now what you have to prove, it is, suppose A is not equal to 0, okay, either AB is equal to 0 implies either B is equal to 0 or A is equal to 0. That property you have to prove in order to say that it is a domain, is it? So suppose A is not equal to 0, AB is equal to 0, consider. Because A is not equal to 0, A belongs to F, F is a field, every non-zero element possesses its multiplicative inverse, A inverse will be there in F. So AB is equal to 0 implies A inverse into AB is equal to A inverse into 0. So this can be written as A inverse AB, AB is equal to 0. A inverse A is equal to 1, 1 into B is equal to 0 because it is a ring with multiplicative identity. 1 into B is equal to 0. Suppose A is not equal to 0, AB is equal to 0 is implying B is equal to 0. Similarly, if B is not equal to 0, consider AB is equal to 0. Multiply on both sides with B inverse. So AB B inverse is equal to 0. B inverse is equal to 1. Therefore, A into 1 is equal to 0, A is equal to 0. So that means AB is equal to 0 implies either A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0 in F plus dot. Therefore, it is an integral domain. But every field is an integral domain. Every integral domain need not be the field. For example, Z plus dot is an integral domain, but it is not a field because non-zero element is not possessing its above. For example, 2 belongs to Z plus dot, 1 by 2 being 0.5, it is not an integer. Only there are two elements 1 and minus 1 which have multiplicative inverses in Z plus dot. Therefore, Z plus dot is not a field. Okay. Now see the next theorem. Prove that every finite integral domain is a field. Here in the previous problem what we have said, every field is an integral domain, but every domain need not be a field. But if that domain is finite, then it will be a field, we are going to say. D is equal to A1, A2, AN be a finite integral domain, that is order of the domain is equal to n. Now if we prove that D is a field, in order to prove that D is a commutative ring with unity and every non-zero element must possess its inverse. Already this from the definition itself it follows, because every commutative ring with unity integral domain also satisfies that property. So now what we have to prove, every non-zero element has multiplicative inverse, that we have to prove. For that you have taken let A is not equal to 0 belongs to D. Now consider AD, that is equal to A1, A2 and so on AN. Let X belongs to AD. Then X will be of the form AAI, where AI belongs to D. A belongs to D, AI belongs to D. So AAI will be in D. Therefore X belongs to D. That means AD is the proper subset of D. You have taken X in AD and you are able to show that it is in D. Therefore AD is the proper subset of D. Now next, suppose AAI is equal to AAJ. Any two elements in AD are equal, suppose if you assume. Then you will get AAI minus AAJ is equal to 0. AAI minus AJ, both are the elements of domain. Domain is without 0 divisors. So either A is equal to 0 or AI minus AJ is equal to 0. Because A is not equal to 0, you will get AI minus AJ is equal to 0. Now AI is equal to AJ, that will be, which is a contradiction, that order of D is equal to n. Therefore, these are all the distinct elements of D. Since these are all the distinct elements of D and one belongs to D, there exists one element, say 1 belongs to D, A into 1 is equal to 1 into A is equal to A. Okay. Now let Y be any arbitrary element of D. So from the above discussion, Y be equal to Ax is equal to Y is equal to XA. But 1 into Y you can write it as 1 into Ax, that is 1 into A into X is equal to Ax, that is 1 into A is equal to A previously have shown, that is Y is equal to Y into 1. Therefore 1 into Y is equal to Y is equal to 1 into Y. for every y belongs to D. One is the unity element, that is multiplicative identity exists in D. Okay, now next, see the next problem, next page, that is D is finite integral domain, implies one of the n products will be equal to 1. Therefore, ai is equal to 1 for some I. Therefore, ai is the multiplicative inverse of the non-zero element in D. Every non-zero element of D is invertible. Therefore, D is a field because D is a commutative ring with unity and every non-zero element is possessing its inverse. Therefore, D is a field. Every finite integral domain will be a field, but if the domain is not finite, we cannot say whether it is a field or not. Okay. Now see, important element. In a ring R, if A square is equal to A, for A belongs to R, then A is called important element of R with respect to dot. In the ring Z4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 of integer modulo 4, 0 and 1 are important elements. Why see here? 1 multiplication modulo 1 is equal to 1, is it or not? So, A square is equal to A. Similarly, 0 multiplication modulo 4 0 is equal to 0. Therefore, these two are the important element. If R is a ring with unity, then 0 and 1 are the important elements in R. Okay. Now, see the next one. Nilpotent element. Suppose there exists n belongs to n, A is not equal to 0 belongs to R, such that A power n is equal to 0, then A is called nilpotent element of R. In a ring of integral modulo 4, 2 is a nilpotent element. Why? To see the previous page here. 2 multiplication modulo 4, 2 is 0. That is 2 is the nilpotent element. Okay. Now see the next property. If A is not equal to 0, is an important element of an integral domain with unity, then prove that A is equal to 1. Or in an integral domain, there exist only two important elements, they are 0 and 1. In order to say this property of integral domain, I have given the definitions of important and nilpotent elements here. Let R be an integral domain and A be the important element. What do you mean by important element? A square should be equal to A. Since A is important element, A square is equal to A. That implies A square minus A is equal to 0. That implies A into A minus 1 is equal to 0. This is equal to, this implies what? A into A minus 1 is equal to 0. But A is not equal to 0. Therefore, A minus 1 is equal to 0. That implies A is equal to 1. Is it? That is only two nilpotent elements with if the ring contains unity element that are 0 and 1. Now see the next one. Prove that an integral domain has no nilpotent elements other than 0. Except 0, there are other no nilpotent elements. Now see here. Suppose R is an integral domain, A is not equal to 0 belongs to R. Now we prove that A is not a nilpotent element. For this we will use the mathematical induction. Mathematical induction means for n is equal to 1 we will prove, for n is equal to k we will assume, for n is equal to k plus 1 we will prove the statement, then we will say that it is true for every integer. Okay. Now see here. Take n is equal to 1. A power n is equal to A, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, the statement is true for n is equal to 1. Assume that the result is true for n is equal to k. That is, A power k is not equal to 0. Consider A power k plus 1. That you can write it as A power k into A power n. A power k is not equal to 0, and given that A is not equal to 0, therefore A power 1 is not equal to 0. That belongs to R. It is not a nilpotent element. Therefore, 0 is the only nilpotent element in an integral domain. How many nilpotent elements are there in an integral domain? There exists only one nilpotent element in an integral domain. It is one of the important objective question. Next, characteristic of a ring. Let R be a ring if there exists a least positive integer p such that pa is equal to 0 for all a belongs to R, then the integer p is called characteristic of a ring. The examples are characteristic of z2 is 2, the characteristic of z is 0, characteristic of zn is n, characteristic of nz is 0, and this is 12. You can see detailed explanation. I have done one video just only on characteristic. Then you can see the detailed explanation. For now, remember the definition. Okay. Now see, prove that the characteristic of an integral domain is either prime or 0. Now let R be an integral domain. 0 is not equal to a belongs to R. Let p be the characteristic of R. That means according to the definition, pa is equal to 0 for every a belongs to R. Now what you have to prove? If p is equal to 0, then there is nothing to prove. If p is not equal to 0, p is not prime, suppose. You have to prove p is prime. But you are supposing that p is not prime. If it is not prime, it is a composite number. Composite number means it is product of two numbers. Let p is equal to p1, p2, where 1 less than or equal to p1 less than p and 1 less than p2 less than p. Okay. Now, see here. R is an integral domain. 0 is not equal to a belongs to R. Therefore, a square belongs to R and a square is not equal to 0 since a is not equal to 0. Now, since p is the characteristic of the domain, you can take pa square is equal to 0. But what is p is p1, p2. Therefore, this is p1, p2 a square is equal to 0. This you can write p1a into p2a is equal to 0. That implies p1a is equal to 0 or p2a is equal to 0, which is a contradiction to p is the characteristic of R. P is the characteristic of R means p is the least positive integer existing such a way pa is equal to 0. But p1 being less than p, p1a is 0, p2 being less than p, p2a is becoming 0. Therefore, it is a contradiction to our supposition. What is our supposition? P is not prime. Therefore, we got the contradiction means we have to conclude that p is prime. Therefore, the characteristic of an integral domain is either prime or 0. Okay, with this I am concluding. Thank you.